Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently working on expanding our navy, and if I recall correctly, we just expanded our armies as well. Yes, it looks like we have 8 of those, so that seems correct. Let's check in here real quick. Yeah, 320 out of 322. So we can definitely expand our navy quite a lot. That's an option. We can also set an agenda, which I would certainly like to do. So we're going to get going on that. What do we want here, though? Ooh, that's a lot of admin power for a university in Satuda. Actually, just diplomatic power and military power as well. So that's in our capital, right? I'm fine with building a university in our capital. So we're going to need a little bit of gold to make that happen. That's fine. Rains are bringing fertility to the Amazon. That is a good thing. And we're going to need, I think, like 1 more month tick, maybe 2. Ooh, 15 legitimacy or a free stability? We're going to take the free stability since we're negative in our stability. So that sounds wonderful. We sacrificed the children instead of the animals for the stability. It's a very ethical action for sure, but it's absolutely fine. Ooh, we're going to get another one. We're going to extract their heart and that'll give us another free stability. That's really good. That's really, really good. So we're going to get a university built here in Satuda for our mission. And who are we going to try to trade with the Quetzal feathers? Everybody kind of hates us, right? This just says a neighboring country, and it doesn't actually tell us which country it'll be. But we're just going to gain the prestige. Sounds good. So that is fine for now. Now, it's 1756. We need to invade Europe at some point. The question is, what point is that? So, as a hypothetical, I think the current weakest power over here would be England. They've got Illinois. I mean, we could stretch our definition of invade Europe a little bit and come out over, like, this direction. But I don't think that's really what we want to do. We could do, like, the HRE. That would be wild. Or Italy. Is Aragon still allied with France? They are not. Genoa and Siena. So Genoa would be the problem here. They've got a lot of ships, that's for sure. Okay, so with that in mind, the real question then is, do we want to invade Aragon? Certainly if that alliance breaks down, but I don't expect that alliance to break down. I think that that's probably just going to be something we're going to have to deal with. So continuing to expand our navy does make sense, for sure. Specifically in the category of heavy ships. However, right now, I think that we shouldn't do that quite yet. I want to continue to convert here, and we're expanding our navy in order to begin our invasion of Europe, which will be fairly soon, but we're not quite prepared for it yet. Our main problem is we would land 80,000 troops, right? And Aragon has 214,000. We would need to keep our landing force alive long enough to get additional landing forces. The convenient thing here is Aragon is split into sections by France. The question is, would they have access through France in order to move their troops around? And where are their troops? We have no idea, and no real way to find out. So that is all noted for the time being. That would be the difficult portion, for sure. So we've just about got our ships upgraded here. That's looking good. And I do think that we should think about increasing our number of heavy ships eventually. Perhaps once our corruption is gone, which is going to be about 2 years, which is really not too bad. We could grab an offensive idea. Is this the time to do that? We're 4 years away from being no longer ahead of time in Miltech. We're going to get this in 2 years. So I think we can definitely make the argument that we can grab offensive ideas here. So I'm going to do that. That'll be fine for now. And then if we check in here, we can see we're 4 years away, and this is going to be done in 4 years. So that is basically perfect timing, but we might be able to sneak in one additional idea before we need to grab this Miltech. We'll evaluate that as we go forward. So industrialization, 1750. Where is it? It hasn't spawned. Okay. So the reason it hasn't spawned is because of these awkward timings. We would need Rio Grande to be the highest valued trade node in the world for it to spawn in 1750. We'd need to have a furnace, and we would need to be the leading producer of iron, cloth, or coal with at least 3 trade bonuses and have it be 1770. It's probably not going to spawn for a little while yet. Okay, so that is noted. We're not able to go for that before we get this mill tech, so we're going to grab the mill tech with that 25% industrialization bonus. That's, or rather penalty, I should say. That's not a problem. So we do have a dip slot right here that we could definitely do, but we're just going to grab this dip tech. It's not a problem. We want to grab this admin tech very, very shortly, and that got us all of that power. Wonderful. That is absolutely magnificent. And we're going to grab this dip tech, which will significantly help our unbalanced research issue. We did just lose our army reformer, though, and that's a big deal. So we want to get an army reformer back, ideally. I guess discipline would work. This guy is Brazilian, which is not an accepted culture, which means that we wouldn't be able to promote him up. We've got this land maintenance modifier reduction. What are we spending right now? So that would be about 13 gold. He wouldn't give us any bonuses. Okay. I'm going to grab this guy. And then we're going to go into our government, and we're going to promote Brazilian to an accepted culture. Then we can promote this guy up, which is exactly what we're going to do. So that's going to cost us 140. And then the next one's going to cost us 561. So that is absolutely painful. We're very sad about that, to be sure. But we're still making a decent amount of military power. I think I'm only going to promote him to level 3. I don't think we're going to go beyond level 3 right now. Well, we're making 67 gold per month right now. Okay, we could grab this yearly inflation reduction. It's not actually beneficial to us. We would much rather have a new idea group as well as the ability to build town halls. So that would be good. And more specifically, that's going to boost up our corruption. So that is very good for us. We're going to be gone with, or rather done with our corruption here in a little over a year. So that is looking great. Let's grab this admin tech immediately. Beautiful. So now you can see our unbalanced research is 0.3 instead of 0.4. Wonderful. So next, I want to promote this guy up, which we can do on this next month tick. There we go. And then the question is, do we want to promote him back up to level 4? I don't think so right now. Rio de Prata just rivaled us. Okay. So that is certainly noted. We're watching for an opportunity to attack Aragon. Let's see, where are their alliances here? So Siena, how strong is Siena? Yeah, Siena isn't really a concern. So that's fine, it's just Genoa. Even so, it's going to be a little bit awkward for us. So that is all understood. We're making 55 gold per month right now. That's going to shoot up tremendously when we're no longer rooting out corruption. So, I mean, we're still going to be partially rooting out corruption due to our unbalanced research, but it's going to significantly drop. And we just lost an army leader. That is this one out over here. Okay, are we at our cap? We're at 6. Okay. So we could definitely roll this up. That'll cost us 47 military power, which I would really rather not spend. We don't really have a choice, though, unless we just want to not drill this army. So let's think about this for a moment. We are 2 years ahead of time with industrialization. We're going to get this in about a year and a half. Any way we slice it, I think that we don't get the idea. So I'm going to roll this, and that will delay us by a couple of months. So at this point, we're again 2 years away, and this is going to be now April of 1760, so that's almost exactly 2 years. It's going to be slightly shorter than that, though, because of the 20% malice going away. So that seems fine. That is a lot of ducats for 5% army professionalism. How are we doing on our professionalism? 73.3? I'm going to lose the prestige. I don't want to spend 1,200 ducats that we don't have on that. So that seems fine for the moment. We need to keep in mind we are allied with the US, and we could probably bring them in on this. As a hypothetical, we don't have a CB here, but the US would not do this because of the distant war. Okay. So the US is not interested in fighting an overseas war. Noted. Well, that's absolutely fine. We lost another military leader, and that was this guy up over here. I don't want to roll this, but we're going to do it. That's very painful for us, because that is going to be delaying our Miltech to July of 1760. Now, it'll actually be probably like 6 months or so sooner. Yeah, somewhere around there. So that is definitely something to think about, but I'm not a fan of spending all of this military power on our generals. Used to be we could poke our estates for one, but unfortunately that was changed. I would like it if it wasn't, but alas, here we are. So we're a couple years away from this. Lose 75 admin power, or we could make vague promises of reform, and that's what we're going to do. Fantastic. I don't want to lose the admin power because we, of course, still want... Oh, what is this? The U.S. wants 729 gold in exchange for favors. Do we need favors? We've got 47. I feel like we don't. I'm going to decline that. The U.S. isn't happy about it, but as a hypothetical, could we... We would need to spend favors to convince them to join this war, yes. But, they would not be called in. Yeah, there's no way that we could get them interested in this. So that is definitely good to know. The U.S. is mostly a bulwark in defending us, but I wonder... Illinois is allied with England, Canada, and the United States. So Illinois isn't an option. However, Portugal is. So if we attack Portugal, the U.S. is interested in fighting that. Castile and the Papal State would come in. This is probably not a smart war for us. So all of the Portuguese colonies would be in here. If we're going to do that, we'd be much better off fighting, like, directly Rio de Prata, which the U.S. would not be interested in because it's a distant war. Portuguese Brazil would also not be interested in because that's not suitable for a crown colony. Interesting. So that is certainly an option. We could go down that way. Out of curiosity, how are we doing on our military? 320 out of 328? Okay, so no real problem there. What we need to do then is boost our governing capacity, for one. That's definitely a thing that we need to do. And I would like to build some additional buildings here. We do have a good workshop to build, so let's do that. Any temples? Yes, actually. There are quite a number of these that can be built. So we'll get those going. That will be absolutely fine. We can now invest in siege ability on offensive ideas. And we do have this free slot here. We're probably going to go for a diplomatic idea here, is my guess. But which one? Trade? Court ideas? What in fact is this? I don't think we'd go for that one. Income from vassals. Liberty. This is all about subjects. Exploration, I don't think is all that relevant at this point. We would probably end up going for trade ideas. So let's go ahead and grab that for now. But we're probably more interested in keeping our... Well, we're interested in keeping our dip tech ahead of our admin tech. That's the only thing we're interested in there. So we could probably grab a diplomatic idea right now. Or very close to it. And grab this global trade power. Minus 10% production efficiency? Sad. But note how much money we're making now. 131.74 ducats every single month. That is huge. We've gotten rid of our corruption at this point. So that is fantastic. We are absolutely delighted by this. So we're going to have enough to grab this trade idea, which we're going to do right now. There we go. And let's convert this province. Perfect. And we can build some additional great temples. So there are a few of these that are in the category of things that I am willing to build. Excellent. There we go. Okay, so now I'm interested in potentially fighting Rio de Prata. The main problem with fighting down here, of course, is what it always has been. Admin power. We're behind in our admin tech, and I'd really like to get caught up. So that would be really, really good. So maybe we should just keep chilling for now and just wait for an opportunity up over here. If Aragon and Genoa break their alliance, or if Genoa is not interested in joining, then that would be huge. Like, for example, if Genoa were to get into war with, like, the Commonwealth or Ottomans or France, somebody like that. So that would be a very, very good opportunity for us. That's not the case right now. We'll just keep an eye on that situation, because we need to get over into Europe eventually. And the question is, when? Well, for now, we're just going to continue to push through our military technology. We're waiting until 1 January of 1760, no matter what. Ooh, another free stability. Beautiful. And we lose a stability, or we lose power. We just got this stability. I'm going to get rid of it. It's fine. We would like to have that stability, to be sure. But for the moment, it's fine to be at +1. I don't mind it. And I would rather not lose this power. So that's excellent. We need 586 power, but this is going to go down by like 58 or 59, depending on how the rounding is done. So that's going to be fantastic. That'll save us a good chunk. Well, 10% of the cost. So that'll be good. We can upgrade a great project, but we're probably not going to do that. I don't actually care for any of the great projects that we've got here. They're all kind of mediocre. But we are going to build a bunch of great temples. That all looks wonderful. So that's, of course, going to be increasing our income. And we are continuing to convert here. We're at 99% religious unity. That's looking excellent. There's a bunch more conversion that we can do, though. Okay. So let's grab that. The Industrial Revolution. Okay, so this actually spawned in 1760, and where did it spawn? It should say in here, but we can see in here, Krakow. Okay, and we can see that it is spreading in each of these locations where we have a manufactory built. So that is looking good. We are definitely going to make some progress on getting that, but it's going to be a while before that ends up happening. Spawns in Krakow, yeah. It's going to take a bit to spread to us. That's understood. So we're going to grab this mill tech right now. This is as cheap as we're going to get it without embracing industrialization, and we're a long ways away from embracing industrialization. So I'm just going to grab this. This is going to reduce our income somewhat because it's going to increase our unbalanced research. That is understood, but it'll give us infantry shock and improved flanking range, which is fine. Okay, so now we're 15 years ahead of time in our mill tech. So that is great. We are next going to put, well, we're going to grab these 3 ideas. There's not going to be a whole lot that we're going to need to put into that. I mean, we're definitely going to get that in 15 years. So that's wonderful. So we lose the Sunrise Invasion CB against Tonkin. I don't think we really care about that, to be honest. And we're just angling for an opportunity. Ooh. Yeah, vague promises of reform. We're just angling for an opportunity to fight somebody out here in Europe. And really, Aragon is the option, I think. They are surprisingly strong, considering how much they control. They have Sicily down here, or I guess a little bit of Italy and Sicily. They have this chunk here, here, and here. And then this is Aragonese as well. And I believe that's... I guess they have this down here. I believe that's all that Aragon has. So that is definitely noted. They're in a truce with Venice right now. Okay, I don't care about the innovativeness here, I don't think. We're just going to take the 10 prestige to keep our prestige high. And I'd like to keep opinion with Illinois high as well. So, we are going to nourish the gods. That sounds good. We converted some heretics again, naturally, and we'll continue to work on that. Gold mine in Cuzco, partially depleted. Okay, that is understood. And we could definitely take the 1% missionary strength or tolerance of the true faith. I think we're going to take the tolerance of the true faith here. We're converting at a pretty good clip. I'm not too concerned about that. We could assign our missionaries to work autonomously, but I prefer not to generally. Cool. It's just a preference thing. It's not like it doesn't work well or anything. We can make a couple of great temples here, and that's all of those great temples done. Perfect. So next we're going to be working on making a few manufactories here, but there's only a couple that I would consider to be high priority at this time. So that looks good. What are you doing, US? You're moving a lot of troops. They're allied with France right now. France is fighting everyone. Okay, that's understood. What's the Commonwealth up to? They're chilling. Sure. Malta is an interesting option here. They're allied with the Papal State. Do we care? That gives us quite a toehold. Okay. That's a plan. So, in that case, what we need to do here is we've got our fleet built up at this point. These guys are going to need to undrill and head up to Satuda, like so. Then, we're going to embark them on these ships, like so. So attach you to transport and attach you to transport. And we're going to head off. Now, this is going to be high attrition. We're going to head here. So off we go. It's going to be real interesting. Our truce with English Mexico is over. That's fine. What does that drop us to? 114? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, so we're sailing across the ocean here. We have a CB out over here, right? We should. Yeah, imperialism. So that looks great. We can seize land. We should do that right now before we declare war. Yes. This is an opportunity to have a base that we can transport our troops to here without being concerned about European navies. So that's a really big deal. So we're going to convert here. Our Empress died. Okay. That seems fine. And we're going to position right here. Sicily will never see this coming. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to declare this war. So we're going to take their capital, oh, they allied with France in that time? You've got to be kidding me. Okay. That's very rude. What about the Papal State? They're allied with Revolutionary Commonwealth and France. France. Okay. What about, like, Dalmatia over here? Revolutionary Ferrara and the Papal State. That seems interesting, except France is a defender of the Catholic faith. That's the problem. Okay. So France being the defender of the Catholic faith is certainly a big deal. Is Protestantism a thing? I think it is, isn't it? Okay, so this is Reformed up over here. They're currently fighting Revolutionary Commonwealth, and this province is being sieged. So I don't feel like that's an option. This religion out over here is Orthodox, but the state religion is Catholic. Not very many people went Reformed. There's some Protestants up in Lubeck. If we did that, France would still join this, despite them being Protestant. Interesting. Due to them being the defenders of the Catholic state, or rather the Catholic Church. The religion in province is Protestant, and the state religion here is Protestant as well. I wouldn't have expected that France would do that. So I guess we're going to have to wait out France being the defender of the faith. Okay, so that is understood. Where can we see how long their term of defender of the faith is? Or that's not how it works in this game, is it? They're definitely defender of the faith, and they weren't very long ago. They just adopted that, but the game didn't notify us. In that case, we may want to consider coming down like this way. They're allied with Ottomans, but as a hypothetical, we're not actually going to do this. Oh, the Ottomans wouldn't join this. But Serbia would. This is an interesting option, actually. That would get us a toehold up here, which is in Europe. It's right on the border of the Commonwealth, and I'd really rather not fight the Commonwealth. So I'm wondering about other options. Directly fighting Genoa is a bad idea. And besides, they're allied with France. So what other options like this might we run into? Aragon themselves, they would have France coming in because France is defender of the Catholic faith. So that is understood. So we have an option here. Revolutionary Commonwealth doesn't actually mind us all that much. They probably will the moment we come in. Let's start improving relations with them. And then we can come over to Tunis here. And we can declare war on Tunis directly. That will bring in Serbia, which we are not going to co-belligerent. If we co-belligerented Serbia, Bosnia would come in as well. That doesn't actually change much. I'm surprised that's not bringing in France. Serbia's Catholic, are they not? They're Orthodox. That's why. Okay. So we could definitely co-belligerent them. That's not a problem if we do that. Like, Bosnia doesn't actually have any troops according to this. So that seems fine. This is a potential option for us. So the idea would be to take the capital of Tunis. Ottomans do not join here due to bankruptcy. They're only 589 in debt. They must have just declared the bankruptcy. Okay. Well, I don't think we actually want to take any Tunisian territory. But we are going to want to get the war goal ticking. I'm going to confirm this, but it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to fight this sea battle here. And then apparently this sea battle. We should easily win both of these sea battles. That should not be an issue whatsoever. And we're going to prosecute this war against Tunis and Serbia. That's going to be very interesting. We're going to want to start a landhold out over here. There's already these forts up here, and I would love to take this territory. We'll see how much we can get away with taking. You can leave your offerings. Actually, we may want to just vassalize them. Would that be more or less problem in the future? I'll think about it between episodes. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.